Well, howdy there, Bronco fans. The wins just keep rolling on in, although this one took a little blood pressure medicine to get through. We got Chris on the set with us. Chris, how you been, baby?
Good. Always good to be back.
All right, talk to me a little bit about, was there any real surprises for you in this game?
This is what I call a Dennis Green game. You remember the old post-game rant, Monday night game when Dennis Green was with the Cardinals? They are who we thought they were. That's exactly who most of us, I think, thought the Broncos were. No one's going to stop the offense. The question as we get later in the year, as we get into the playoffs, will be, can they get off the field when they need to get off the field? For 58 minutes, that answer was no, until Romo and Trevathan. You go back and watch that interception. That's a great interception. That's a great interception.
Without a doubt. And
they made the play when they needed to make the play.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Chris. I think that, at some point you were going to wonder, hey, when are we going to start missing Von Miller? When are we going to miss Champ Bailey? Well, this is the game.
Yeah.
I know we've heard it all season long, next man up, but you start losing those two off the top, then you get Chris Harris gets his head spun around, and then you got Wesley Woodyard, their best tackler, and who I think is playing at all-pro level this year, all out. And it's no surprise, the Broncos and Cowboys, last two pass defenses in the NFL, and boy, was it a shootout.
Yeah, it was. That's one of those, if you don't have a side, what a great game to watch. What a great game to watch. And the thing that is unfortunate is Romo's just getting crushed.
Yeah.
Everywhere the guy threw for 500 yards. Maybe your defense could force a punt every once in a while.
And you felt for him, but I got to tell you, a couple of my buddies tapped me on the shoulders right when that drive started and said, "This is Romo time," and it's a little bit like Phillip Rivers time. Although I think Romo is a little bit more likable than Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, a lot more likable than Phillip Rivers.
Who, by the way, threw some more interceptions against Raiders last evening. So anyway, at the end of the day, the Broncos are rolling. Sum up Peyton Manning for us.
He may not be the most physically gifted quarterback that we've either in the league today or that we've seen.
Michael Vick doesn't need to worry after that bootleg.
After the bootleg where he faked out even the camera guy. But the thing about Manning, he's got to be the smartest quarterback that's ever played. He's got to be and the way he can manipulate and get the defense to show what he wants to see. And I think half the time he's making stuff up. I think he's getting the defense to move around so he can run the original. I'm not sure he's even changing the play half the time. I think he's getting the defense to move into a set where he likes the play they call. And then you could see on the bootleg, no one knew he was going to keep it. Nobody knew where the ball was going. The guy is just beyond phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I tell you what, we've been spoiled forever in Denver. I mean, you got John Elway, so we saw his kind of play, and then we saw Jake Plummer come in here, and it's kind of just a wild man, if you will. We've seen some precision passing, but we've never seen anything like a Peyton Manning. I mean, and currently right now, just to tell you how great of a season he's off to, he has more touchdown passes than Brady and Breeze combined, 11 more touchdown passes than Aaron Rodgers, and it's amazing to sit back and watch. You just can't appreciate it enough. And he just picks who he sees the weakness. And maybe Julius Thomas, who had another couple touchdowns. Welker now scored in 5 straight games, 5 touchdowns, leads the NFL with 7 touchdowns. It's just amazing. Decker gets his share. I would like to see him going deep to Demaryius a little bit more.
I thought, especially middle fourth quarter on, DT had some great catches. Those jump balls where he's and I know we don't like to bring up McDaniels, and of all the draft picks he blew, that one was right. He's turned into one of the really great receivers. And speaking of, yesterday, I think you saw the passing of the torch from Calvin Johnson. The best wide receiver in the NFL right now is Dez Bryant. That guy's unbelievable. And what the sigh of relief we can take is we don't face a guy like that again this year. But that guy's the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah, I agree. And the one thing I did know that was going to happen, you see it week after week, we still have just not figured out the middle of the field, especially against tight ends. You see a guy with Witten's been just pounding people for years. You knew that was going to be a long day. And then when Chris Harris goes out, you're not going to be able to cover the slot because he's arguably the best defensive back to cover a slot. He gets to practice against Wes Welker every day. Well, you guys don't have to practice every day. What you can do is go join the Denver Bronco Booster Club I'm telling you what, if you're in Colorado and you're not part of this organization, money is very inexpensive, $50 for the whole season, and you get to go to great events like this one here. Check out the Denver Bronco Booster Club. Here, let me paint the setting. You're down at Jackson's, downtown Denver, beautiful fall day. You're upstairs, you got it all to yourself, big
awesome.
screen TVs, and you're watching with former Broncos. Check this out. I mean,
awesome.
what a great environment. You see everybody right there at the end going crazy when the Broncos finally win it. So, Denver Bronco Booster Club, go check it out, man. It's worth it. Charity, old Broncos, nothing better.
It's awesome.
All right, Chris, tell me a little bit about this defense. Really struggled yesterday, man. When you got to hang on after you've scored 51 points, that's not a very good defense.
Yeah, obviously they struggled. I mean, anytime you're giving up the kind of points they gave up, but the silver lining being here, we're 2 weeks away now from Von Miller coming back, and we know, Shad, we've seen enough of the NFL. There's not a more impactful player than a great quarterback rush. And if they can start, you saw a couple times that Manning looked a little flustered was when Dallas would get a rush with 4 guys, and if you can drop those other 7 guys into coverage, suddenly all your defensive backs are better. And with the prospect of Champ coming back, the defense, I think gets better. And the thing we got to see, Shad, is we've got to see someone between Derek Wolfe, Sylvester Williams, somebody in the middle has got to step up. You've got to be able to get after the quarterback with 4 guys.
Well, I mean, it's funny you bring up that name, Sylvester Williams. You may want to put him on a milk cart. Now, I guess the Broncos have been good enough with that run defense. They are the 3rd-ranked rush defense in the NFL, but Sylvester Williams, nowhere to be seen.
Third-ranked rush defense, but let's be honest, when you're ahead by 40 points, right, you kind of know where the offense is going. There's not a ton of misdirection and mystery into what the other team's going to do.
So, I mean, I think the Broncos putting together quite a streak. Now, now listen to this for stats. The Broncos, after 5 games, are 91 points ahead of, they've outscored their opponents by 91 points ahead of them. And they're going against the Jaguars, who are a minus 122 against the opponents they played. Is there a point spread big enough to cover this game, Chris? Or are you worried about it because
not that we condone the gambling, kids at home. Out of curiosity's sake, that line has fluctuated between 28 and 26. And, you kind of get the feeling, Nick Saban at Alabama, it's often been said, he kind of has a number in mind, and when we get to that number, we kind of shut it down. And I think that's what you'll see. This is a game I don't see a reason why Denver couldn't score 70 points in this game. That to me is realistic. Will it happen? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. In the NFL, I think those coaches have enough respect for each other. I view this as a game Denver's going to be able to do whatever they want to do.
Well, you would hope so. I think they may slow it down a little bit just to try and see if they can establish more of a run game. Speaking of run game, no Sean Moreno running with authority this year. I like what he's doing.
Running with authority, Shad, and Better than that, I thought, was the blitz pickup yesterday. Yeah. He really did not. That yesterday might have been the best game he's played while he's with Denver.
And how about Chris Clark going against Ware all day long? Controls him. Manny Ramirez with just one holding call yesterday. I mean, the Broncos' offensive line have really stepped up. I think that everything's... Cole quit. I don't know. What do? You take a paycheck away from him? I mean, the guy didn't even punt yesterday.
Well, let's be honest. If you're Cole quit, you probably make plans for Sunday afternoon against Jacksonville. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So the Broncos are without a doubt rolling. And within 8 days, Chris, they scored over 50 points twice, over 1,000 yards of offense yesterday between the two teams. I mean, it's the wild, wild west. It's been exciting, and it just keeps on rolling.
You know, and we've suffered through enough of those years. You kind of feel like you deserve this. It's been, and again, if you're not a Bronco fan, if you're just an NFL fan in general, it's fun to watch. It's unbelievable what they're doing on offense.
And wrapping up, speaking of fun to watch, hey, you guys got to go check this out at Red Robin off of Arapahoe in Yosemite. Our good pal Andy Lindahl is going to have a current Bronco there, a couple cheerleaders. Every Thursday, show up there, man. We'll save a seat for you. It's going to be great. And the Broncos are great.
Man.
5-0, baby. Can you believe it? Just seems like yesterday. We're talking about Orton, Tebow, Brady Quinn, and now we're sitting back watching Welker, a couple Thomases, and Peyton freaking Manning.
I like their chances to be 6-0.
You're going out on a limb.
I guarantee it.